What's going on, guys? So the numbers are out, things are looking positive. So does that mean that things are finally getting better? Alright, so before I break that down and go into it, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share this video. Also hit that notification bell. So because of the holiday, non-farm payrolls, which usually gets released the first Friday of the month, it was released on Thursday instead. Now, with those numbers getting released, it shows that the US added 4.8 new million jobs in the month of June. Now, hearing that alone sounds great. The market did rise. It seems as if our economy is getting better, but there's more to it than just that. What I'm going to do in this video is break down some numbers, give you guys some facts so you can actually think and come to a conclusion for yourself of the reality of this current economy. So for starters, yes, 4.8 million new jobs were added in the month of June alone, which is great. But also what was released was the unemployment numbers. The week of June 22nd to June 27th showed that 1.4 million Americans have filed for unemployment. Guys, that's huge. For 15 straight weeks, more than 1 million Americans every single week have filed for unemployment. And then with that, we're hearing that some jobs were temporary layoffs. However, when you look at the core data of it, that's not necessarily the truth. So the core data shows us the unemployment numbers minus the temporary layoffs. So if you lost your job temporarily, it's not added to the core data. Now, the core unemployment number shows that in May, it was 5%, and in June, it rose to 5.9%. And added to that, in April, it was just a little above 4.5%. So that shows you from April, May, and June, the core numbers of unemployment continues to rise. If the actual core unemployment data shows that each month unemployment continues to rise, that doesn't sound like it's a good economy. It actually sounds pretty alarming to me. Just how are things getting better if we continue to lose more core jobs? Not temporary layoffs, but actual jobs. How? There's a huge disconnect between our economy and the stock market. It is not the same thing. The economy refers to if you have a job or if there's money circulating, while the stock market refers to if a publicly traded company, how good they're doing. It's not the same thing. In theory, it should be parallel, but it's actually intersecting. It's not parallel at all. This is why a business can cut jobs, which is not good for the economy. However, it's good for the business because it lowers their overhead. And if they lower their overhead, that means they're able to make more money, which is good for the actual stock. This economy is grown with economic circulation. So if more money is being spent, more money can circulate and more jobs can be created. An example is this. Let's say that you own a clothing store, right? A retail clothing store, and you have 10 workers, and now you're selling more clothes. By you selling more clothes, you're going to need more workers. So if you need more workers, you're going to have to hire more employees. So that right there shows once economic growth and economic circulation continues to circulate, more money being spent, you're going to need more jobs. So if people aren't shopping at these stores, jobs aren't getting created. Another thing I want to speak on is Trump's statements. Trump stated that he supports another round of direct payments and added to that he wants to give out more money than what Democrats are already proposing. So if you aren't aware, giving away money is that's the new norm. That's really what we do. But if we need to continue to give out more money, then how do we have a good economy? For starters, where is this money coming from? The government doesn't actually have money. All they do is just print money, which they're not really supposed to, but they just print money. And then with that money, they just make the inflation rise. And by making inflation rise, they just make the cost of living higher. I remember growing up and a bag of chips was 25 cents. Now that same bag of chips is 55 cents. And then on top of that, it's less chips. And now it's even more air in the bag. It's like, what the hell? So that right there is a prime example of inflation. Inflation continues to rise. The cost of living continues to rise. Paychecks do not continue to rise. And all they keep doing is printing more money. With this great economy, 78% of Americans were already living check to check before this pandemic even happened. Now, Americans are getting by with the $600 plus benefits that they're receiving every single week. They're aware that unemployment benefits alone isn't cutting it. Because of that, you have to have $600 bonus added every single week. Again, that's not a strong economy. More than 25% of Americans are making more money staying home with government assistance than they would have been making if they were actually working. Again, where is that money coming from? Staying on the topic of unemployment, the US Treasury paid out more than $100 billion of unemployment benefits in the month of June alone. Added to that, in May alone, over $90 billion were paid out in government benefits. And then in April, almost $50 billion were paid out. If the US economy is getting better, guys, why does the US Treasury have to continue increasing how much unemployment benefits are being sent out every single month? Guys, this isn't $100 million that's being sent. This is over $100 billion that's being sent out. So guys, there's a lot more data indicating that this economy is not good, nor is it actually increasing for the better. But I just wanted to give you guys a quick example, quick rundown, quick data showing you of what's really going on. Now, from all this data, I want you guys to actually just think, are things really getting better, or is it that all lies are being told by the media?